Hi there, I'm Edward Jern. So welcome back to another episode of Stairways to Lanakila. So today we will have a new team, a hell team that the National Championship of Hong Kong Cyrus Or has used in the London International Challenge. Although this team did not earn a very good result because some of the reasons behind, and yeah, indeed, I still think that this team is very good, and we will try it out this time. And this hell team is very quite unusual in current meta, so I like to show how to use it. So this team is very interesting. Is that Snorlax is actually the last additions right before the tournaments. So it's because we found a problem is that this team cannot counter a Sun team very well, but on the other hand, we discovered that with the abilities of Thick Fat, Snorlax could actually wall the Sun team, the Torkoal's eruption very well. So we have our first opponent from South Korea of today. So his team is a very standard team with a Polygon 2 as one of the trick rooms or some kind of walls. So against this team, I may actually choose the most aggressively here, the Ninetales and also Sandslash. So considering the remaining two, Tapu Koko should be my choice because I kind of need something to knock out the Celesteela, and also should I use Marowak or Gyarados here? Both are very good here. But I guess I'll use a Marowak here. So one of the most interesting things that introduced in this generation is the move Aurora Veil by the Ninetales, because it could only be activated in the Hells, and Ninetales has the access of Snow Warning in this generations. So there's some kind of problem with my connections, and we are here. So we'll see what we'll see. So we are needing this Ninetales, Ninetale, Sandslash here, both the unknown forms opposing the Gyarados and also the Celesteela, relatively passively, in my opinions. So one of the things that I like Ninetales very much is that the speed of Ninetales is 109, which can help you to decide to find the opponent's speed, especially some that will activate abilities when using the Scarf. So here, maybe I shall do a Freeze Dry here onto the Gyarados and switch into Marowak. So you could see that my Ninetales only have the coverage of Ice move, but indeed these two Ice moves are very covers a lot of Pokemons, because Water does resist Ice, but with the Ninetales using the Freeze Dry, I can knock out the Gyarados with ease. So here we are, one hit KO the Gyarados. So we do see the Wild Guards coming from the Celesteelas. So let's see what he brings in the next turn. So Ninetales also do a very good job to fight against Gastrodons. Most of the teams couldn't fight very well in this current metas, but Freeze Dry would offer a 4 times move against it. So we do see another Marowak coming in here. So my Marowak has a very high speed here, so I've invested a lot in speed, so let's see what shall I do. I'll turn on my Aurora Veil, so that even his Marowak is faster than I do, I can still survive his Shadow Bones. Well, of course, yes. So he didn't protect or switch out. Aurora Veil is activated, reducing his damage a lot. So we do see a heavy slam onto my Ninetales. And my Ninetales would be survived with hand-on with the Focus S activated. Yes, his Marowak comes first. Shadow Bones not able to knock me out. So a counter Shadow Bones here. Yeah, that's easy to knock it out. But the defense drop is a bit of my concern because it may allow the Steelers to knock me out with the heavy slams. So I may choose to switch out the Marowak here, because I need to reserve Marowak here to... Yeah, but we do see the Tapu Koko coming in. So Tapu Koko with his high speed here could knock me out with a dazzling glint. So I still have 2 turns of health. Should I sacrifice both of my Pokemons right here? Switching out is kind of risky. Yeah, I may choose to sacrifice both of them here. So yes, Dazzling connects. Will Celesteela do something that would favor him with a free turn here? Oh, but this survives. Exactly. So Marowak knocks out. So with the protections of Aurora Veil, I can play very aggressive somehow. So next turn should be the last turns of the Hell, and he is definitely going to protect his Tapu Koko here. So I may try to double target onto the Celesteela. Maybe he is also protecting his Celesteela, but I don't think with the Y-Guts, not sure. He will have to protect. So there's a C move here, and I'm going to use it later on. It's actually the Groundium C, which helps one-hit KOing some Marowak here. But anyway, I'll double target into the Celesteela this turn. So I'm using the Thunderbolt and also the Icicle Book. So he didn't protect anyway. The Icicle Crash connects, but disactivating his Citrus Berry. So with a 1 speed boost here, I'm not sure it can survive. I'm not sure whether my Thunderbolt can knock it out. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, oh, it barely survives. So the Heavy Slams onto Tapu Koko should be... Yeah, my Koko survives. But luckily, with the last turns of Hell here, it's knocked out. So, another lesson that we know is that these water damage is done before the leftover recovery. So I could continue to use the Thunderbolts and the Groundium Z Tectonic Rage onto the Tapu Koko. So it's useful for things, probably because there's no protect, or he couldn't knock out both of my Pokemons here. So this is a very good game to demonstrate how Ninetales could help your teams here. So we will jump to another battle of today. Let me say something about the Snorlax, the pick here, because this Snorlax is quite a different Pokemon that used to pick in a team, because it has 4 attack moves. It has a very high coverage Pokemon with frustrations, high horsepower, wild charge, and also the heavy slams. Indeed, we only put a citrus berry here onto the Snorlax, but it still works very well because it really has a very high defensive power, and also with the help of the Aurora Veil from the Ninetales, it can do a lot of things. So we see a very common core after the London is the core from Wolf Glick's teams, consisting of the Salamence, Tapu Bulu, Muk, Politoed, the Madnessungs, and also the Polygon 2. We think that he will not. So Ninetales is still a very good lead, despite he might use a slower Drizzle user, the Politoed lead first. And I guess I picked the Tapu Koko. In this situation, I don't really want to use my Sand Slash. Yeah, well, I still like the Gyarados lead here. And a Marowak, in case he needs his Madnessungs and Ninetales for the coverage of Tapu Bulus and Salamence. Alright, that's it. So let's see our second opponent from Japan. What will he bring from the Wolf's core used in London? So we're bringing in the Tapu Koko and Gyarados against his Muk and Madnessungs. So the Intimidate would fire off here, and reducing the attacks of both of these Pokemon. So I have the access of this discharge. I don't think his Madnessung will use a discharge, but on the other hand, he may utilize this chance to actually use a substitute here. But Marowak switch is kind of risky because it's still threatening by the Muk. Anyway, the Marowak switch, and we just use the Dragon Dance. So Dragon Dance would help me knock the Muk into the a 2-hit KO range. So Marowak is here to protect my Gyarados from the electric type moves from Madnessungs, but he is also restoring his Madnessungs into Tapu Bulus. It's quite a good news for me here. So Grassy Ring is activated. Maybe he wants to minimize the electric type move here. But my Dragon Dance is on. Because it's knocked off onto my Marowak. Very smart move here. So the Thick Cup is lost, and the damage is very low here. Anyway, the Tapu Bulu still have a chance to one-hit knock me out here. I still kind of need Yeah, I still need my Marowak. So I switch into Tapu Koko to minimize this grassy terrain damage and use a waterfall onto the mug. So Tapu Koko is back, and Electric Surge is activated, turning back the field into an electric field, so waterfall comes in to 1/1 waterfall. And is that a Figgy Berry or a Citrus Berry? It's a Figgy Berry. Oh, it's a Margle Berry. So Tapu Blues use this chance to use the substitutes, and I have got a lucky flinch here. So I could continue to use this moves. A waterfall and also a Dazzling Gleams. Should be able to break Tapu Blues substitutes. And in case it's not switch out, he will still receive a very high damage from the +1 waterfalls. But he's protecting his Tapu Muk. So we do see the Dazzling Gleam here. So unless is heavily invested in special defense, I don't think he could survive. The substitutes would kind of stay in the field. So he successfully launched a Leech Seed onto my Gyarados. Yeah, this doesn't really matter because I would continue my move last turn. This blue is, I think, is going to use another substitutes onto Tapu Koko. Of course, he can choose to use the substitutes as well. Or maybe another Hornage onto my Tapu Koko for recovery. But he's not going to switch out. A waterfall comes in. So Dazzling Gleam, will it able to knock out the Muk? It does. So Tapu Bulu is using a Hornage onto my Gyarados. Kind of large damage, and his Tapu Bulu is back to a very healthy conditions here. So I don't really mind about it because my Ninetales would threaten his Tapu Bulus a lot. But he's using the Salamence so as to minimize my waterfall damage. But I have the access of Stone Edge here, which is kind of a risky move instead of the Ice Fan because of its accuracy, but I still need it here. I don't want the Salamence to... yeah, the Salamence is protecting. Very nice move. So, Stone Edge. So let's see what his Tapu Bulu is going to do. Another substitute or a Hornage to knock out. Yes, another Hornage onto Tapu Koko is that. So, a very healthy Salamence is on the field. I bet he will switch out his Salamence to recycle the Intimidate with it. Yeah, I will use the Waterfall instead here. Yes, he's switching out. Very good. Bringing his mana stones back from the field. So Waterfall should do a lot of damage, even with neutral. So Dazzling Gleams. Next. He should be using a Cornish onto my Tapu Koko. So he will knock out both of my Pokemons here. So I still have a chance to win here. And it's basically depends on how his Tapu Bulu is trained. So Blizzard still have the higher damage rolls onto his Tapu Bulu. Yeah, but I bet I shall protect this round first, so that his Tapu Bulu might receive. Yeah, we just do the double protect, so as slow he reduce his damage, his HP a little bit. So it's double targeting onto my Ninetales. So if I do attack this turn, I will probably going to get a very high advantage. So the question is my Marowak faster than his Madness Zones? So it does. I have a very high chance to win. Yeah, I don't really mind the recoil damage. So I just use the Blizzard and the Fire Blitz. So this team is very aggressive in nature, so it has to play very carefully, and you have to predict some opponent's defensive plays also. So Tapu Bulu is protecting here. So of course I may get lucky. So the Flash Cannon comes in first. So it's confirmed it. The speed is faster than mine. Yeah, it knocks out the Madness Zones. So Salamence would come in. And Salamence can't take the one single hit from the Blizzard, usually. Though it may still have some kind of options like Athletic Vest, maybe. So I still have 2 turns of health. If I were him, I would choose to play. Yeah, never mind. If I were him, I would rather choose to play a very safe place by protecting the Salamence and try to survive Tapu Bulu's. Yeah, the Blizzard is trying to survive, but I don't mind. So I will hope that, yeah, That is forfeiting. So a very nice match from our opponents. Play very carefully against my aggressive play. So here we are, the two battles of the days. So see you tomorrow, and we will continue to feature these teams. Bye.